The pollution levels in the national capital, the odd-even traffic rule just might return as thick toxic smog continues to choke Delhi and NCR regions. Now, today the Environment Pollution Authority will be deciding whether the odd-even rule that was implemented last year, if you remember, in similar circumstances, needs to be reintroduced to control and contain pollution levels. The panel has already stopped all civil construction work in the city and has even banned entry of trucks except those carrying essential commodities. Delhi government has also decided to shut schools across the national capital, and that decision will happen till Sunday. The Delhi Metro has decided to run 180 extra trips across the network from today. More buses will also be plying on Delhi roads. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has reached out to his Punjab and Haryana counterparts to try and find ways to stop toxic fume from rampant crop stubble burning.
We bring you this report from a very prime location of the national capital in front of the Rashtrapati Bhavan here in central Delhi. This is a point where from any given point of day and time you can see the Rashtrapati Bhavan clearly, but today you can see, my video journalist Sunil Kumar is showing, you can barely see anything. All you can see a bit of the north and south block, which is also engulfed in smog. There are less people here. You cannot see any tourists coming in. Otherwise, a place, a point which is most of the time flooded with tourists to see the Rashtrapati Bhavan and India Gate at the same time. This is where you can stand and see the India Gate clearly any other day. But you can see, you cannot see anything because of the smog once again. You can see some traffic police or security personnel who are sitting and doing their duty, covering themselves using masks so that they can escape the toxic air. There are less people here. You see a lot of people jogging, running, or even tourists pouring in to see this iconic place, but you cannot see anything. You cannot see the Rashtrapati Bhavan, you cannot see India Gate. Everything is engulfed with this toxic air. With camera person Sunil, this is Parveena, Delhi, India Today.
Okay, let me go straight across now to our correspondents. We have Parveena Purkayastha, who just sent us that report from Lodi Road, and we also have Anindu Banerjee, who's joining us from Vijay Chowk. Coming to you, Parveena, how does the situation look just behind you? I can see you wearing that preventive mask, and obviously residents have been living in a gas chamber with pollution levels spiraling not each and every day, but each and every hour.
Well, Avantika's situation continues to be grim because as far as the Met Department officials tell us that it will continue to be, the air quality will continue to be poor at least for the next 2 days. You can see just right behind me outside India Meteorological Department, there's a board showing, live streaming the situation at the moment, and most of it touches 500 now, which is at hazardous level, which is really very poor. Just now that we also had people coming from Right to Breathe, and also people from Help Delhi Breathe coming here with their own machines and checking what's the air quality like at the moment. But this shows that, you know, the figures here which are displayed just outside the Mausam Begab office is inaccurate, because they show it is 1125, which means double the numbers what they are showing here, which means you can understand, Avantika, what is the kind of air we are breathing. As far as
absolutely
is concerned, of course, it's better now because the sun is out now, and hence helping to dissipate the pollutants in the air. But it's just for a while, because as far as the air is concerned, it's really poor. Even as I speak to you now, it's really hurting my eyes, and its eyes are burning. People really ignoring and avoiding to step outside house.
Right.
But, you know, many will still have to come out. There are
absolutely
people really have to come out and work on the streets like us. So.
Oh, absolutely. Anindu, this is a very serious, a major public health emergency with thick toxic smog enveloping Delhi and the NCR regions. I mean, knee-jerk reactions and blame game just will not work. One has to look for long-lasting solutions to this environment that we are living in and breathing.
And knee-jerk is the way, probably knee-jerk is the word we can describe the reaction of both the central government as well as the state government. It's not that it was a surprise for either of the governments. It was well predicted by the Met Department. It was well predicted by other organizations that deals with weather control, weather forecast. But there was no, well cohesive action plan. Both the Delhi government as well as the central government have taken a slew of measures in the last 2 or 3 days, but they have been taken in isolation. They're not working in tandem. There be it the the road minister asking the NHAI for the do's and don'ts about construction. There's been a ban on the schools in the national capital region as far as be it the shutting down of the Badarpur plant. They have all been taken in absolute isolation in the bubble that they're living in. Probably the political, differences between the two governments that are led by both the Aam Aadmi Party and the Bharatiya Janata Party are getting reflected in their governance part as well. And the bigger question that needs to be asked that where is Dr. Harshvardhan, who happens to be the face of the Environment Ministry, who is the cabinet minister, who was there at obviously for some official work, but still abroad in Germany. We are given to understand even today after landing at Delhi, landing in India, he has chosen to go to Goa. So there are valid question and pertinent question that needs to be asked, that isn't it enough reason for the environment minister to head straight back to Delhi?
Oh, absolutely. And that's a very important question. It's just, it's so shocking how the lawmakers seem to be so unconcerned and blasé about the emergency that one is getting to see in Delhi, the hazardous levels of air, what not just adults are breathing, but elderly citizens, young children. I'm just going to take our audience through the air quality index in different parts of Delhi and just take a look at how Delhi is choked in different parts of Delhi. R.K. Puram in South Delhi, the levels of the deadliest tiny particulate matter which is just soaring with each and every passing day at 999 in R.K. Puram. I mean, it's absolutely shocking. And the safe, we're showing you the very safe, the normal levels, which is at 50, but this is at 999 at R.K. Puram, and the next location is Mandir Marg in central Delhi, where the air quality index is 682. This is what we are breathing. This is the very tiny particulate matter that not just you, but your children are also breathing. And this is what should create panic, should create alarm in our lawmakers and our politicians. But nothing seems to be happening. In fact, at ITO in central Delhi, the air quality index is at 789. So the situation is pretty much the same all over. There is anger, there is panic, the pollution levels spiking with each and every passing hour. At Dwarka, it's at 420. But if you remember, at R.K. Puram, it's at 999. This is just so shocking. Anand Vihar, which was also so badly affected last year, is seeing a similar situation at 578. And Parveena, these are the levels. This is the quality of air that each one of us are breathing. And there is just no point to sit down here and talk about who's doing what or why it happened. What's unfortunate and what's tragic is that why nobody, could foresee a situation arising like this when one has already experienced the same last year.
Well, Avantika, it would be, I think we foresaw this situation because we have been reporting even much before Diwali that this year it's gonna get worse and the air quality is already poor. Even though we spoke about bursting crackers, Supreme Court intervening and saying that you cannot sell crackers, but still we knew that the air quality is already very poor. What were we really waiting for? Haven't we reported enough about burning of stubble in the neighboring states? We did, but nobody took any step. As far as taking step is concerned, of course, now we need more solutions than blaming each other. But even though the solution has come up, most of them have already suffered. Imagine the patients, respiratory issue related patients, bronchitis patients, Many of them are actually leaving Delhi for a while, but few cannot afford to do that. They are helpless, they are denied of their right to come and breathe. Schools are shut, people are not able to do any outdoor activities. These are a helpless situation for Delhiites at the moment. Even if another 2 days or 3 days continue, Avantika, we really don't know how will I be able to stand and report, because eyes are burning already. Very difficult to speak with this on, but we have no other option. So this is the situation at the moment. Also, our colleagues and we have also gone and seen many places where the construction sites are still on. There are construction materials which are there on site, which according to government should not take place for the next few days. These are continuing. Why strict rules? Why monitoring at last moment? Why waking up at last moment? When we were reporting this, that even if we do not contribute to Diwali, even if we don't burst crackers, citizens have done their bit. It was time now that the government had to do. We are late, but we'll still have to wake up, and the environment minister should be in action now, Avantika.
All right, Parveena, I'll just come to you, but we've just received some breaking news about the National Green Tribunal slamming the Delhi government, MCD and all the other neighbouring states for the air pollution and the situation in Delhi. So the Delhi air is deteriorating, and dense toxic smog continues to only increase. The situation is worsening, with the NGT now coming out and slamming the Delhi government, the neighbouring states as well, for not doing enough to contain the pollution levels, the alarming situation that one is getting to see. Anusha Soni joins us for more on this. And Anusha, everybody is using words like apocalypse, airpocalypse, gas chamber, and we are seeing a lot of knee-jerk reactions like we did last year. Schools being shut till Sunday, trucks being denied entry into the city. But nobody is sitting and really getting into the depth of the matter and trying to look for long-lasting solutions to this mess that we find ourselves in.
Absolutely, Avantika, and this last-ditch attempt is just a complete example of how the administration is at a failure. I mean, we talk about judicial overreach of courts in this country. This is clearly the domain of the executive and the governments in this country to ensure that there is a plan in place. When each year you face, alarming and startling pollution levels like this, Delhi has literally become a gas chamber. The Supreme Court has passed guidelines and asked the state governments to implement it. There are guidelines from the NGT as well about burning and crop burning in the neighbouring states. But it is the responsibility of the state governments to ensure that the implementation of them happens. Until the time NGT doesn't summon their representatives and calls them to the court and asks them what you have done, no action is taken. And that's what exactly happened during the hearing today. Yesterday, the representatives of the neighbouring states were called, and after the NGT had summoned them, that's when they started taking some action, and that's what the NGT is miffed about.
But this is the unfortunate part, Anusha, that the band-aid solutions will not really fix Delhi's grave pollution levels, this very grave situation that we find ourselves. And we see this every time. We saw it last year, we saw it this year, NGT coming out, slamming various authorities. But one wind will come, the air will be lifted, the smog will be lifted, everything will be fine, and everything will be long forgotten. Why consistently doesn't the NGT take various authorities and try to solve this issue?
Well, Avantika, as I pointed out, this case has been going on. Each year NGT pulls them up. But to be honest and to be fair, this is clearly the domain of the executive. This is clearly the domain of the governments in this country. When the courts overreach and start running governments and pass orders to how to run a state, then the state is very critical of the fact that the courts should not tell us how to run a state and functioning of the administrative machinery. This is a complete failure of the administrative machinery. We must understand the health ministries of the various state governments, the central government, also the Delhi government, all have to work in tandem if you have to ensure that the thick smog doesn't cover, Delhi and the neighbouring areas.
All right, so the NGT questioning the state's seriousness in dealing with the smog situation, lambasting the Delhi government and also slamming the neighbouring states for the mess that Delhi is in right now, for the alarming pollution levels, for the thick toxic smog that each one of us living in Delhi are currently breathing.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.